friends, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. Today we're going to talk about 2 books that I DNF'd that everybody else has seemed to love, but not Jennifer. No, didn't care anything about them. And I gave them time. Yes, I did. But my thoughts on when I DNF a book is, okay, life is too short. There is too many books in the world for me to be wasting my time. So if it's not grabbing me, or I just don't even care about the characters, I don't finish it. Yeah. And then 3 books that I picked up that I'm kind of excited about. And then the 2 books that I'm reading right now. So let's get started. So the first book that I DNF, is that how you say it? DNF? Anyway, did not finish, was The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelide. Yeah. So, this book was promising. This book was in my TBR, I think, my last video. This is about Alicia Berenson, who shoots her husband in the face, kills him, and then she is catatonic, and she goes into a mental hospital instead of prison, and she won't speak, and she's catatonic, and I thought it sounded really good, but this book, boring. Yeah. It's about criminal psychotherapist Theo Faber is captivated by Alicia's story and jumps at the opportunity to work with her. Because apparently years go by and nobody can go get through to her to see if she's, will speak and all that. I didn't even care. Halfway through this book, I was like, this is boring. And I found myself skipping pages. Like, okay, maybe it's going to pick up. Nope. DNF. The next book that I DNF'd was The Bookshop of Yesterdays by Amy Meyerson. Boring. So this book was about Miranda Brooks, who grew up in the, let's see, I forget where they lived, but anyhow, she had an Uncle Billy who she loved, and he was all the time doing little scavenger hunts and things for her. He owned a bookstore called Prospero Books, and he would take her there and always let her pick a book, and he would take her to the park. He was a big part of her life. And then when she was 12, her mother and him had a big fight, and after that, she didn't see him again. Then when she's 30-something, he dies, and he leaves her the bookstore, and he leaves her an antique key that is supposed to open something, and interesting and all that. And then he leaves her riddles to solve and all that. So it sounded really good to me. But here's my problems with this book. A lot of Billy was very eccentric. So he read a lot of books, and a lot of the quotes in this book are from classics and such, and I had no clue what they were talking about. So, and then when he would do a riddle, I couldn't figure it out. I was like, I seriously don't even care. I didn't care. So, I kept thinking, okay, it's going to get better because everybody has loved this book. Nope, it didn't get better for me. Boring. DNF. I know. So, moving on. So, the next book I'm going to talk about, I was so excited. I was at a garage sale. Me and my husband go garage selling every Saturday morning when it's nice. And we go to the next town over, and we go to the really nicer neighborhoods. We usually get good stuff. And I always look for books. If not for myself, then for my little free library. If I come across hardbacks for $0.25, I will load up for the Little Free Library. And not even really look at what they're about. I mean, as long as they're, in good shape. And something that I think people are gonna want to read. And if there's stuff for me, oh yeah, I'm really excited. But books for me, at garage sales, I only pay $1 or maybe $2 if it's something I really want to read. And I mean, $2's not bad at a garage sale. So Saturday we went, and we weren't having any luck at all, but we were going, and we still had time to go before it was lunchtime. And so we went up to this lady's house, and she was reading a book, actually. So I thought, oh, there's going to be books. Nope, one book, but it was the one book that I wanted. Little Fires Everywhere by Celeste Nug. I don't know how you say that. I was so excited. So I was like, how much do you want for this book? Oh, $1. I was like, okay. So I gave her her $1, got in the car, and I told my husband, oh, I'm so excited. He's like, why? And I was like, I've been wanting to read this. Yay! And the library, the list, the library for to be on hold is like way long. So I was excited. So let's see what this one's about. I've been seeing this one all over Instagram too. In Shaker Heights, a placid, progressive suburb of Cleveland, everything is planned. From the layout of the winding roads, to the colors of the houses, to the successful lives its residents will go on to lead. And no one embodies this spirit more than Alina Richardson, whose guiding principle is playing by the rules. Enter Mia Warren, an artist and single mother who arrives in this idyllic bubble with her teenage daughter, Pearl, and rents a house from the Richardsons. Soon, Mia and Pearl become more than tenants. All 4 Richardson children are drawn to the mother-daughter pair. But Mia carries with her a mysterious past and a disregard for the status quo that threatens to upend this carefully ordered community. Ooh, that sounds good. Have you read this? Let me know in the comment section if you've read this. I thought it looked really good. So yeah, pick that up. And then the next 2 books, somebody actually put in the Little Free Library. Yay for me! Yeah, so normally I'm the one that put all the really good books in the Little Free Library. As you know, I get the books and then I read them and then I put them in the Little Free Library for everybody. But every once in a while, one will show up out there and I'm like, ooh, yay. And one of them that was in the donation bin just recently was A Theory of Relativity by Jacqueline Mitchard. I think that's how you say her name. And The First Time by Joy Fielding. And I like Joy Fielding. I've read several of her books. I don't know what this one's about. Let's see. Behind the shiny facade of her seemingly idyllic life in Chicago, Maddie Hart feels as if she is falling apart. After 16 years of marriage and one beautiful teenage daughter, Maddie has discovered that her husband Jake, a high-profile defense attorney, is in yet another love affair. It is only after Jake finally confesses his infidelity and leaves to live with his girlfriend that a far greater crisis descends upon the embattled Hart family. Maddie receives some devastating news that will alter all their lives. Racked by guilt at these unforeseen developments, Jake returns home to be with Maddie. Oh, that sounds good. Yeah. So yeah, that was donated to the Little Free Library. And then this one, A Theory of Relativity. Let's see what it's about. I have only read a few of Jacqueline Mitchard's books. I wouldn't say she's one of my favorite authors, but I might give it a try. Let's see. Gordon McKenna, at age 24, thinks he's already heard the worst news his life will ever deliver when he learns that his only sister, Georgia, is fatally ill. But then Georgia and her husband die in a car accident, leaving behind their baby daughter, Kiefer. Kiefer. Who names their baby Kiefer? Gordon and his parents are able to survive their sorrow only by devoting themselves heart and soul to the care of the beloved 1-year-old. Yet the decision of who will raise Kiefer and how is far from over. Gordon's most basic assumptions about the security and identity of his family will be threatened in ways so provocative that the McKennas will be driven first to disbelief and then to outrage. Ooh, that sounds good. Have you read that book? Let me know in the comment section below if you've read this. That sounds pretty good. Ooh, almost dropped it. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the 2 books I'm reading right now. Now, normally I don't read 2 books at once because I start kind of getting confused. Like, I'm like I'll pick it back up and then I'll have to stop and think, okay, which one is this? But what has happened is I'm reading Tending Roses by Lisa Wingate, and I'm liking it. But I take my Kindle to the gym, and I don't have this on my Kindle. So on my Kindle, I'm reading After You by Julie Buxbaum, and here's a picture of it. I don't know, hopefully you can see it. And so yeah, I'm reading both right now. So what this one's about, Tending Roses, and this one actually was in my little free library. Someone donated it. Yay, because I love Lisa Wingate's books. I've read all of them, but I've read them all from the library. Like, I don't ever buy them because the library has them all. And I don't know if the library has this one or not, but hey, I got it free because it was donated. So this one is about Kate Bowman. She temporarily moves to her grandmother's Missouri farm with her husband and baby son. She learns that the lessons that most enrich our lives often come unexpectedly. The family has given Kate the job of convincing Grandma Rose, who's becoming increasingly stubborn and forgetful, to move off her beloved land and into a nursing home. But Kate knows such a change would break her grandmother's heart. Aww. So I'm not very far into it. I'm on chapter 6. But so far, I'm enjoying it. It's sweet. You know, Kate and her husband and her baby go and they stay with Grandma Rose, and Grandma Rose is very picky. She's like, take your shoes off when you come in the house. You know, she's picky about, you know, make sure you're cleaning up and all that. And then she tells her opinion on everything. But hey, she's like 80, I think, or something like that. And when you get that age, you can be that way. That's what I think. But what Kate realizes real fast is that Grandma Rose has lots of lessons to give. And Grandma Rose is like, you need to live in the moment and be thankful for your blessings and all that. And yeah, so this is just like a sweet, kind of feel-good book. I'm enjoying it. Like I said, it's sweet. Nothing major is happening in it, but it's just one of those books that kind of makes you feel good, you know? Kind of makes me miss my grandma. Yeah. My grandma passed away. It's been 2 years probably. She was in a nursing home. And my grandma was like my confidant. She was my heart. We were a lot alike. I used to call her. She lived in Texas in a nursing home at the end. But I used to call her on my lunch break at work. And, excuse me. And she would always want to know what I was eating. And I would describe it to her because she said the food in the nursing home was terrible. Yeah. Excuse me. So anyway. So it kind of makes me miss and think about my grandma. And she actually died. It was terrible. We had just went and visited her. And I'm glad we did because about a month later we went to Hawaii, me and my husband. And she died while we were in Hawaii. So I didn't get to go to her funeral. Which was heartbreaking, but yeah, I didn't get to go. Anyway, moving on. So this book is about, let's see if I can get it up there where you can see it. And this one is about a lady who has a best friend named Lucy, and I can't think of her name. Anyway, Lucy and her were best friends growing up. I just started it. Like I said, I'm reading it at the gym on my Kindle. Anyway, her and Lucy are best friends in Massachusetts, I think is where they live. They grow up together. They're best friends since like first grade. And so Lucy falls in love with someone else and moves to London. And one thing about that I found kind of interesting in the beginning of the book is that the other lady is married too, and I can't think of her name. I want to say Julie. Anyway, she's like, I don't want to tell my husband, but if Lucy had been a guy, I would have married her first. So they're like best friends, right? So Lucy moves to London with her husband that she meets, and they have a baby named Sophie. Well, when Sophie is like 6, I think it is, Lucy's walking her to school, and Lucy gets murdered, and Sophie sees it. Yeah. So Julie goes to London, basically, for the funeral, and then she stays to comfort Sophie. Yeah. Be there for Sophie, because the dad is kind of like distant. He goes back to work, and they have three nannies. So they got money. But he fires the nannies because apparently the nannies all sold their story to the tabloids or whatever, so he fires them. So anyway, Julie stays there to look after Sophie. And she starts reading her The Secret Garden. Yeah. And so that's where I'm at in the book. They just started the book, The Secret Garden. Oh, and Sophie doesn't speak ever since the murder because she's seen the whole thing happen. So she doesn't speak now. And one part that I just read, it was like broke my heart, was they were walking to school. She was walking her to school because the therapist is like, she needs to go back to school. So she takes her back to school, and they're walking a different direction because, her mom got murdered like a week or two before on this one path going to school. And so Julie's like, no, we need to go this other way. And Sophie's like, no. She doesn't speak, but she's like, no, we need to go this way. Anyway, she gets there, and she just falls to her knees and keens. That's exactly what the book says. She keens. K-E-E-N. Which, a little girl who has seen her mother murdered, and she doesn't speak now, but, yeah, that got me right there. So, anyway, that's where I'm at in the book. Yeah, it's sad. But sometimes, sometimes you want... That kind of book is okay. So, yeah. That's what I'm reading right now. And if you have any recommendations for me, leave them in the comment section below. Also, if you didn't know, I have another YouTube channel called Read Along with Aunt Ninny. And I read children's books over there. So, I have almost 700 videos over there. So, if you have little ones, head over there and you can check out those videos. Also, please subscribe. I would love to have you. And, yeah, so if you hear thunder, it's a really rainy day here in Oklahoma. Also, we have a lot of trains here in my town. So, if you hear that in the video, yeah. No, I'm not going to edit those out because guess what? That's real life. Yeah. Anyway, until next time, thanks, friends.